rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the University of Newcastle. I'd like to invite Auntie Sandra Griffin to offer a welcome to country.
Thank you. Good morning, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Acting Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, Head of Faculties, ladies and gentlemen, students, and Indigenous students and Indigenous community members. The Awabakal tribe were the traditional custodians of the land where Newcastle University now stands, and it is an honour and a privilege to represent the Awabakal people on such a grand occasion. I'm sure the Awabakal ancestors are very happy that you all chose the Awabakal country to further your education. I really hope that the Awabakal ancestors inspire and protect you, the students in your future. Everyone welcome to Awabakal country. Thank you.
Vice-Chancellor, Deputy Chancellor, fellow council members, staff of the university, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. A graduation ceremony is a wonderful occasion for all members of the university community and, of course, for families and friends of the graduates. And while we can't offer you an award, we do recognise the enormous contribution that you've made in supporting your loved ones through the highs and lows as in their time as students. And to you we offer a very special welcome to the university. To all the graduates, I offer my warmest congratulations and very best wishes. Today is rightly a proud moment for you as we recognise the completion of your degree. And this morning we will see graduates in fields ranging across such diverse areas as Aboriginal studies, visual arts, teaching, fine art, music design, speech pathology, social work, aviation, forensic science and environmental studies, to mention but a few. There will also be postgraduate research students graduating with higher degrees having contributed original knowledge in such areas as psychology, design, medical physics, education and life sciences. In the area of research performance, this university is ranked among the top 10 universities in Australia. It has an annual research income in the vicinity of $25 million and an annual research expenditure of $36 million, and this is an exceptional achievement. Whether you're here today to receive your first undergraduate degree or a postgraduate coursework degree or a research higher degree, you'll have developed skills, knowledge and the ability to think logically and laterally, qualities that are highly valued by employers worldwide and will stand you in good stead for the process of lifelong learning. The rate of change in our society is such that whatever qualification you have completed, you will need to be engaged in lifelong learning to remain successful and competitive in the workforce. I'm confident that the skills you've acquired during your study at this university will stimulate your hunger for more knowledge and understanding. And this in turn will equip you to make valuable contributions to the local, national and even an international community. I take this opportunity to remind those receiving their testamus today that as graduates of the university, you automatically become members of the graduate body, the Convocation, and you join more than 70,000 other graduates worldwide and have the opportunity through elected representatives to become involved in the governance and development of the university. I now call on Professor Anne Graham, Dean of the Faculty of Education and Arts, to present graduates from that faculty.
Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Aboriginal Studies, Michael Threadgate. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Janine Cullery. Shana Calvert. Anne Chung. Charmaine Clark. Jodie Crane. Alexis Daroche. Gianni Di Gravio. Darren Dickey. Mary Aney. Stephen Flanagan. Susan Fowler. Mark Fowler. Olivia Henry. Zoe Johnson. Francis Johnson. Simon Jones. Pauline Kennedy. Elizabeth Lane. Brooke Leal. Tessa Mahoney. Bradley McDougall. Melissa Nicholas. Melissa Oldham. Pasqualina Piccioni. Michelle Pinto. Alana Seacombe. Nigel Shaklady. Daniel Stoddart. Dane Sullivan. Sarah Thomas. Fiona Wells. Richard Wells. Rowena Williams. Catherine Withers. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. The graduate has studied for these awards simultaneously. Jessica Linzell. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours, Class 2, Division 1, Angela Dalton. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours, Class 1, Anne Brown. Chancellor, the award of a university medal is an honour made only when there is a candidate of sufficient merit. To be considered for this award, a graduate must have a consistent record of exceptional academic achievement at all levels of a bachelor's degree programme and qualify for a bachelor's degree with first-class honours. I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours, Class 1, and university medalists, Julie McIntyre. Jennifer Wilson. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Arts Communication Studies, David Ball. Natalie Creighton. Yasmin Holm. Shay Jewell. Ashley Killingley. Jeremy McPherson. Amy Marshall. Stephanie Muchai. Kieran Parsons. Anne Robertson. Nicole Vella. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Education, Nicola Garrett. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Education in Secondary Education, Conrad Ackerman. Kelly Balzer. David Boundy. Brian Carpenter. David Cornford. Kevin Gray. Graham Jeans. David Killen. Ailsa Murray Lincoln. Diane Newman. Jeffrey Riley. Grant Robertson. Paul Stockbridge. Shane Tapscott. Megan Verdon. Scott Walton. Troy Weigand. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Education in Secondary Education with Honours Class 2, Division 2. Tanya Garland. Warren Lawking. Elizabeth Mason. Diane Petrangelo. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Education in Secondary Education with Honours Class 2, Division 1, Jeffrey Bull. Kerry Coughlin. Robert Ward. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Fine Art, Ainsley Asher. Jonathan Carroll. Kerry Corbett. Joel Font. Megan Lucas. Thank you. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Music, Marion Barford. Stuart Brown. Georgina Cole. Kohao Yanfaith. Kate Marskell. Brendan Mee. David Robertson. Evan Shield. Teresa White. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degrees of Bachelor of Music and Bachelor of Computer Science. The graduate has studied for these awards simultaneously. Lloyd Richardson. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Music, Honours Class 2, Division 1, Tamira Johansson. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Music, Honours Class 1, Erin Sweetman. Jordan Vett. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Music, Honours Class 1 and Universally Medalist, Peter Guy. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Social Science, Sarah Cooper. Caroline Farley. Rebecca Fowles. Rosemary Lee. Sandra Piggott. Donna Santelben. Asa Veraccia. Lisa Woods. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Social Science, Honours, Class 2, Division 1, Rachel Hughes. Samuel Warad. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Social Science, Recreation and Tourism, Alison Henry. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Social Work, Danny Whitbread. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Speech Pathology, Carly Gleeson. Matilda McIntosh. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Bachelor of Arts, Sally-Ann Boardman. Suzanne Fisher. Simon Cachell. Rachel McTair. Paul Morton. Abby Mowbray. Nicola O'Shaughnessy. Anna Redman. Sally Schofield. Zoe Silverwood. Jodie Timp. Laura Wisely. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Bachelor of Arts with Honours, Class 2, Division 2 in Teaching, Christy Chivas. Rebecca Zara. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Bachelor of Design and Technology, Michael Smith. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Bachelor of Early Childhood Studies, Emily Lazell. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Bachelor of Health and Physical Education, Sean Grady. Nathan Johns. Natalie Liddell. Fiona McNichol. Anika Nichols. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Bachelor of Health and Physical Education with Honours Class 2, Division 2 in Teaching, Stephen Bird. Megan Elliott. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Bachelor of Health and Physical Education with Honours Class 2, Division 1 in Teaching, Shannon Stewart. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Bachelor of Music, Amy Moore. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Bachelor of Science, Warren Morgan. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Bachelor of Social Science, Sheridan Jury. Jade Kedzierski. Amanda Murray. Nicole Rawlings. Chancellor, I present to you a candidate who has satisfied the requirements for the award of Diploma in Education in Primary Education, Gemma Jenkins. Chancellor, I present to you candidates who have satisfied the requirements for the award of Diploma in Education in Primary Education with Merit, Elizabeth Finn. Heather Goff Fuller. Maria Cifuentes. Joseph Taffer. Chancellor, I present you a candidate who has satisfied the requirements for the award of Diploma in Education in Secondary Education, Adam Ross. Chancellor, I present to you candidates who have satisfied the requirements for the award of Diploma in Education in Technical and Further Education, Paul Harvey. Mark Osterman. Ewan Smart. Ian Vickery. Chancellor, I present to you candidates who have satisfied the requirements for the award of Graduate Certificate in Educational Studies. Anna Gerginis. Catherine Green. Christiane Gutzler. Gasanone Israel. Fiona McCormick. Justine Parsons. Patricia Wetton. Chancellor, I present to you a candidate who has satisfied the requirements for the award of Graduate Certificate in Music Technology, David Santamaria. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Master of Applied Linguistics, Anne-Marie Cordwell. Yvonne Irwin. Kiego Kose. Rosalind Smith. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Master of Applied Management Tourism, Neil Ellis. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Master of Disability Studies, Leanne Wheeler. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Master of Educational Studies, Priscilla Arnold. Margaret Bhagwana. Ekaterina Crosby. Alan George. Stephen Harper. Karen Jones. Vivian McComb. Jeffrey Murray. Bina Rizal. Lydia Spoljarek. Kerry Todman. Lena Tone Schuster. Kylie Ebert. Jill Moncrief. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Master of Music Technology, Sukli Barrell. Jennifer Campbell. Emma Runciman. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Master of Social Change and Development, Catherine Karminja. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Master of Special Education, Nicole Clark. Benedict Desmond. Tracy Hawthorne Said. Jenny Hilsinger. Jessie Jiang. Helen Lee. Gloria Sherwood. Wan Yinghua. Kylie Wells. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Education and Arts.
I now call on Professor Bill Hogarth, Pro-Vice Chancellor of the Faculty of Science and Information Technology, to present graduates from that faculty.
Chancellor, I present to you a graduate who has satisfied the requirements of the award of Diploma in Aviation Science, Stephen Armitage. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Applied Information Technology, Gareth Chapman. Raymond Smith. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Design Visual Communication, Felicity Brimsmead. Tony Ann Hodson. Susan Savaracek. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Environmental Science, Emma Barnett. Cody Craig. Graham Hicks. Adam Yarnick. Gerard Kelly. James Tier. Rochelle Unwin. Vicky Walsh. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Human Nutrition, Rebecca Forbes. Laura Harrison. Natalie Hawkins. Chancellor, I present to you graduates the degree of Bachelor of Information Science, Adele Curry. Karithi Hikandi. Diana Ilvid Handoyo. Rowan Kelly. Pamela Mann. Emma McEwen. Anthony McLaren. Peter Pullis. Wang Ling Ling. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Information Science, Honours, Class 2, Division 1, John Voicey. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Mathematics, Clinton Dull. Adam Rowe. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Mathematics, Honours Class 1, Philip Brooker. Chancellor, I present to you graduates the degree of Bachelor of Science, Lindsay Jane Adams. Jason Brown. Katrina Crichton. Ian Holland. Helen Jankowski. Stephen Maxwell. Sarah McInnes. Sally O'Hearn. Ned Povar. Graham Pugh. Ben Seaford. Daniel Thomas. Kim Tomlinson. Rochelle Victor. Scott Wilton. James Young. Chancellor, Margarita Judd was a student enrolled in the Bachelor of Science degree program. Regrettably, Margarita passed away before she could complete her award. To Margarita's husband, family members and friends who are here today, we wish to convey our deep condolences at her untimely death. Chancellor, I present to you Greg Judd, who will accept Margarita's testament for the Bachelor of Science. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science, Honours Class 1, Anthony Morrison. Benjamin Tremaine. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Science, Honours Class 1 and University Medalist, Justin Williams. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science, Aviation, Samuel Bates. Logan Francis. Luke Jackson. Christy Tanswell. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Science, Biotechnology, Thomas Richards. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Science, Biotechnology Honours, Class 2, Division 1, Kim Dibley. Chancellor, I present you graduates the degree of Bachelor of Science, Food Technology, Sky Gardner. Leah Kelly. Carly Wilson. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Science, Forensic, Nicola Packinger. Chancellor, I present you a graduate who has satisfied the requirements for the award of a Graduate Diploma in Information Technology, Cesar Maldonado Sanin. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Master of Applied Management, Operations Management, Gregory Rowe. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Master of Applied Psychology, Julianne Kenworthy. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Master of Aviation Management, Carl van der Side. Ram Vurik. Edmund Ming Chong Wong. Chancellor, I present you graduates the degree of Master of Environmental and Business Management, Jeffrey Boylan. Angela Lonigan. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Master of Food Technology, Yan Jun Shan. Chancellor, I present you graduates the degree of Master of Information Technology, Sarah Ball. Gu Chao Chen. Hugh Hang Chong. Eric Lawson. Alan Mugai. Nilanjana Sinha. Jian Min Tang. Lee Thompson. Hoi Chao Tong. Yan Dong. Ma Yu. Shuang Yi Zhang. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Science and Information Technology.
I now call on Professor Brian English, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, to present Research Higher Degree graduates.
A Research Higher Degree is awarded to graduates who have successfully completed a program of study based primarily on their research. A thesis embodying the outcomes of the research is the basis of their examination, and the degree is only awarded if the thesis makes a significant and an original contribution to knowledge and understanding in the field of study to which it applies. Today, the University is proud to honour graduates who have satisfied the rigorous criteria for the award of their Research Masters or their Doctor of Philosophy degree. Chancellor, I present to you Selina MacDonald for the degree of Master of Fine Art. Ms MacDonald's thesis is entitled A Privileged Journey. Chancellor, Selina MacDonald. Chancellor, I present to you Ronald Sharp for the degree of Master of Arts. Mr Sharp's thesis is entitled Narrow, Intolerant and Exclusive, the Socialist Labour Party of Australia 1887 to 1930. Chancellor, Ronald Sharp. Chancellor, I present to you Catherine Hastings for the degree of Master of Social Work. Ms Hastings' thesis is entitled Not a Specialist, Just a Decent Human Being. Chancellor, Catherine Hastings. Chancellor, I present to you Emma Henning for the degree of Master of Creative Arts. Ms Henning's thesis is entitled Developing Stagecraft and Vocal Technique. Chancellor, Ms Henning. Chancellor, I present to you Lydia Meem for the degree of Master of Psychology, Clinical. Ms Meem's thesis is entitled Task Switching in Schizophrenia, Anticipatory and Stimulus-Driven Components of Task Set Reconfiguration Processes Associated with a Predictable Task Switch. Chancellor, Lydia Meem. Chancellor, I present to you Danielle Herbert for the degree of Master of Science. Ms Herbert's thesis is entitled Studies of Assisted Reproduction in the Spotted Grass Frog, Limonodynastes tasmaniensis. Chancellor Danielle Herbert. Chancellor, I present to you Stephen Howlett for the degree of Master of Medical Physics. Mr Howlett's thesis is entitled Development and Critical Evaluation of an Independent Verification System for Monitor Unit Calculations in Photon Radiotherapy. Chancellor, Stephen Howlett. Chancellor, I will now present to you the graduates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. These candidates have all studied for the equivalent of 3.5 years of full-time effective study The thesis, which is the outcome of their work, is examined by 3 examiners, each of whom is internationally recognised for their expertise in the field of study covered by the thesis. Chancellor, I present to you Donald Adams, Diploma in Teaching and Bachelor of Education from the University of Technology in Sydney, and Master of Leadership and Management in Education for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Adams' thesis is entitled The Leadership Effectiveness of Head Teachers within the TAFE New South Wales Vocational Education and Training System. Chancellor, Dr. Adams. Chancellor, I present to you Matthew Cotton, Bachelor of Arts and Master of Educational Studies for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Cotton's thesis is entitled Empathetic Epistemology, Challenging the Contemporary Paradigm of Educational Knowledge. Chancellor, Dr. Cotton. Chancellor, I present to you Gordon Lyons, Bachelor of Science with Honours, Diploma of Education from the University of New South Wales, Graduate Certificate in Educational Studies, Master of Special Education and Master of Educational Studies for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Lyons' thesis is entitled Life Satisfaction for Children with Profound Multiple Disabilities. Chancellor, Dr. Lyons. Chancellor, I present to you Edmund Parker, Bachelor of Arts from Pacific Union College, Master of Arts in Religious Studies from St Andrews, Bachelor of Education Studies from the University of Queensland, and Master of Arts from La Trobe University for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Parker's thesis is entitled Toward an Inclusive Reading of Text, Educational Implications from the Reading and Interpretation of Biblical Narrative. Chancellor, Dr. Parker. Chancellor, I present to you Pakcharapimon Suksamchitra for Bachelor of Education from Rajabhat University and Master of Leadership and Management in Education for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Suksamchitra's thesis is entitled Reforming the System of School Administration in Thailand, Facing the Challenges of the 21st Century. Chancellor, Dr. Suksamchitra. Chancellor, I present to you David Wiltshire, Bachelor of Applied Science from Ballarat College of Advanced Education, Bachelor of Divinity from the Melbourne College of Divinity, and Bachelor of Arts with Honours for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Wiltshire's thesis is entitled The Structure of Belief, a schema for understanding how people believe for use in the context of theological education at the science-religion interface. Chancellor, Dr. Wiltshire. Chancellor, I present to you Nongran Wongshri, Bachelor of Education and Master of Education from the University of Sinkar Erinawat for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Wongshri's thesis is entitled A Cross-Cultural and Cross-Disciplinary Comparison of Some Components of Self-Regulated Learning. Chancellor, Dr. Wongshri. Chancellor, I present to you Richard Morris, Bachelor of Education from Avondale College and Graduate Diploma in Art for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Morris's thesis is entitled Fragments in Configuration, a dialogue between a painting practice and established film practice. Chancellor, Dr. Morris. Chancellor, I present to you Gillian Hunt, Bachelor of Arts with Honours from the University of Wollongong for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Hunt's thesis is entitled The Art Criticism of George Moore, 1886 to 1896, a complete edition with critical introduction and notes. Chancellor, Dr. Hunt. Chancellor, I present to you Troy Duncan, Bachelor of Arts with Honours and University Medal for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Duncan's thesis is entitled Utilitarians in Puritan Garb, William Goodell, Antebellum Reform and the New England Clergy. Chancellor, Dr. Duncan. Chancellor, I present to you Scott Muller, Bachelor of Engineering Chemical, with honours and a graduate diploma in philosophy from the University of Queensland for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Muller's thesis is entitled The Asymmetry Principle of Information. Chancellor, Dr. Muller. Chancellor, I present to you Riley Dionigi, Bachelor of Social Science with honours from Charles Sturt University for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Dionigi's thesis is entitled Competing for Life, Older People and Competitive Sport. Chancellor, Dr. Dionigi. Chancellor, I present to you Anne Taylor, Bachelor of Arts with honours from Cambridge University for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Taylor's thesis is entitled Childbirth Practice and Feminist Theory, Reimagining Birth in an Australian Public Hospital. Chancellor, Dr. Taylor. Chancellor, I present to you Judith Wells, Bachelor of Arts in Advertising Journalism from Ryerson University, Master of Arts Communication from Charles Sturt University for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Wells' thesis is entitled Time Will Tell a Different Story, Marion Marnie Griffin, The Reconstitution of a Reputation Over Time. Chancellor, Dr. Wells. Chancellor, I present to you Prudence Dunstone, Bachelor of Music Performance with honours from the University of Adelaide for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Dunstone's thesis is entitled Performance Practices in Italian Music for the Female Voice, 1800 to 1850. Chancellor, Dr. Dunstone. Chancellor, I present to you David Harris, Bachelor of Science Agriculture from the University of Sydney and Master of Science with honours from the University of Western Sydney for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Harris's thesis is entitled Delayed Ripening of Bananas Through Ethylene Control. Chancellor, Dr. Harris. Chancellor, I present to you Hilda Brzezinski, Bachelor of Arts, Visual Arts with honours for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Brzezinski's thesis is entitled The Relevance of 21st Century Botanical Art and its Relation to Pre-20th Century Perceptions. Chancellor, Dr. Brzezinski. Chancellor, I present to you Lynette Sheridan-Burns, Bachelor of Arts Journalism from the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology University for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Sheridan-Burns' thesis is entitled From Knowing How to Being Able, the Development of Professional Education for Journalists. Chancellor, Dr. Sheridan-Burns. Chancellor, I present to you Grant Webber, Bachelor of Science with honours and Bachelor of Mathematics for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Webber's thesis is entitled Self-Ordered Thin Films of Diblock Copolymer Micelles. Chancellor, Dr. Webber. Chancellor, I present to you Terence Burns, Bachelor of Engineering with honours for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Burns' thesis is entitled Science Shows, Evaluating and Maximising Their Effectiveness for Science Communication. Chancellor, Dr. Burns. Chancellor, I present to you Michael Gladys, Bachelor of Science with honours for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Gladys' thesis is entitled Diffusion and Growth of ultra-thin films on pure metal surfaces. Chancellor, Dr. Gladys. Chancellor, I present to you Hong Qing Shi, Bachelor of Science and Master of Science from East China Normal University for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Shi's thesis is entitled Theoretical Studies of Metal Chemiabsorption on Silicon Surfaces. Chancellor, Dr. Shi. Chancellor, I present to you Aidan Sims, Bachelor of Computer Science and Bachelor of Mathematics with Honours for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Sims' thesis is entitled C+ Algebras Associated to Higher Rank Graphs. Chancellor, Dr. Sims. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of research high degree candidates.
I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Roger Holmes, to present a candidate for an honorary degree.
Chancellor, I have pleasure in presenting to you Ken Eltis for admission to the degree of Doctor of Education, honoris causa. Some years ago, in a paper discussing the profession of teaching, Professor Ken Eltis quoted a colleague on skills required by teachers, one of which he identified as the ingenuity, sometimes the sheer guile, to lure young people by non-violent means away from things that they would rather be doing, to address themselves to learning what adults think they need to know. Ken Eltis, a distinguished graduate of Newcastle University College, made an exceptional contribution to education in New South Wales and beyond, to the things young people need to know, and to the training of teachers who have an important task of helping them along the way. His research, teaching, administration and leadership have made a valuable and lasting impact on the education of young people at every level. Ken grew up in the Newcastle suburb of Islington and attended Tighes Hill Public School and Newcastle Boys High School, taking the Leaving Certificate in 1955. He completed a Bachelor of Arts New England, a Diploma of Education New South Wales, both in Newcastle University College, before beginning his professional career in the early 1960s in the New South Wales Department of Education as a modern languages teacher at Newcastle Technical High School. Ken's experiences growing up in post-war Newcastle shaped his belief in the importance of equality of opportunity and a strongly supported government school system. After 10 years teaching, Ken took leave from the Department of Education to begin work as a lecturer in education at Macquarie University, becoming Director of Teacher Education at Macquarie in 1983. Ken's time at Macquarie is significant for many reasons, but most notably for the creative leadership he exercised in the development of teacher training programs. The School Experience program at Macquarie, overseen by Ken, was both innovative and exemplary, introducing master teachers dedicated to both their discipline and their profession. The strength of the program laid in its moral and intellectual commitment to the preparation of scholar teachers and to the ways in which the program enhanced cooperation between the teaching profession, schools and universities. While at Macquarie, Ken also had an active academic time. He completed an Honours Masters in German and a PhD in education and spent a year studying at the University of Hamburg on an academic exchange scholarship awarded by the West German government. In 1986, Ken left Macquarie University to become Director of Studies at the New South Wales Department of Education and later Director of Curriculum and Education Programs. His work here led to the first of a series of national curriculum statements, an approach designed to produce greater curriculum consistency across the Australian school system. This was achieved during a period of critical political and social change. Ken successfully negotiated competing interests and controversy to produce a result which still influences educational planning. On leaving the Department of School Education in 1991, Ken joined the University of Sydney as Professor of Education and Head of the School of Teaching and Curriculum Studies. In the years which followed, he served as Dean of the Faculty of Education, Acting Pro-Vice-Chancellor, Arts and Humanities, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Planning and Resources, and then in 2002, Senior Deputy Vice-Chancellor of the University of Sydney. At Sydney, as at Macquarie, Ken brought a new and vital approach to the preparation of teachers, in particular by introducing a 2-year Master of Teaching program, replacing the traditional 1-year Diploma of Education. At Sydney, he had responsibility for a very broad range of areas, including the development of the university budget and oversight of an extensive capital development program. In his role as a tertiary administrator, he continued to act as an external, informed and constructively critical commentator on school curriculum, leading the 1995 State Government Review of Assessment and Reporting Practices in New South Wales primary and secondary schools. A follow-up study resulted in the report Time to Teach, Time to Learn, the recommendations which were accepted by the government and are now being implemented. Professor Eltis also played a prominent role in the New South Wales Ministerial Advisory Council on the Quality of Teaching and was the New South Wales Vice-Chancellor's Committee nominee to the Task Force on the implementation of the Teacher Education Review New South Wales. His participation in an extensive range of committees, inquiries and reviews is evidence of his genuine commitment to the ongoing development of a comprehensive, accessible education system and of his personal and professional commitment to an education system which provides equality of opportunity. The work of Professor Eltis has attracted international attention through consultancies for organisations such as the World Bank, and his research in the field has been used as a basis for revisions of language teaching and policy development in Australia and overseas. He was awarded the prestigious Sir Harold Wyndham Medal in 1997 in recognition of his services to education, which is a testament to his success as a teacher and an administrator with a capacity for original and creative thought in an area of great public significance. Professor Ken Eltis is a highly respected and much valued graduate of this university who has continued to maintain links with Newcastle-based colleagues and with the university community generally. His career is both diverse and distinguished, and his legacy is ongoing. Chancellor, it is with great pleasure that I present to you Professor Ken Eltis, Bachelor of Arts, Diploma of Education, University of New England, Master of Arts and PhD from Macquarie University for admission to the degree of Doctor of Education, honoris causa.
By the authority delegated in me by the Council, I hereby admit Ken Eltis to the degree of Doctor of Education, honoris causa. We now have a musical interlude presented by Cassandra Schubert on flute. Cassandra is a graduate of the University of Newcastle, and we look forward to hearing her. Thank you, Cassandra. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to invite Dr. Ken Eltis to deliver the occasional address.
Chancellor, Deputy Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the Council, staff, visitors, and especially the graduates, both first-time and those receiving a higher degree. I want to begin by congratulating the graduates on their success in obtaining their degrees. You've done it at last. Some of you have been elevated to the top stage. It's a day you'll never forget, and you'll be justifiably proud of your achievement, and your families will be feeling a great sense of relief. As you can imagine, for me today is a great thrill. Returning to my hometown to receive an honorary degree is a wonderful experience, and it's caused me to do a lot of reminiscing. I offer my sincere thanks to the Chancellor and the Council of the University for their decision to make this award. And oddly enough, it means that now I have Newcastle officially recognised among my degrees. When I completed my BA here in 1958, all the courses and examination for arts were set by the University of New England, hence my BA-NE. In fact, the only visit I made to Armidale as an undergraduate was in 1958 as one of the Orange Boys for the women's hockey team during a freezing, snow-filled Queen's Birthday weekend. You can tell these stories now. I spent the first 25 years of my life in Newcastle, and it was a very different town in the 40s, 50s and 60s. The experience of those years taught me the importance of creating opportunities for all young people to succeed. But while I appreciated and benefited from promoting an academic elite, I also developed an intolerance of any attempt to use privilege to gain an advantage, a strategy I often encountered in my professional career. My attitudes and values were of course derived in the first instance from home and reinforced by my schooling. I began my education by walking about 2 miles from Islington to Tyres Hill Public School, located almost directly under the smokestacks of the BHP. I stood out in photographs as the one wearing shoes and a tie, a rarity in those days. It was immediate post-World War II Australia, and in a sixth class of about 40 students, we had a very large share of non-English speaking children from Central European countries whose families had fled to this country from war-torn Europe. This was where I first learned the significance of the phrase equality of opportunity. I may not have realised it when I was very young, but when I came to work as a teacher educator, an educational bureaucrat and an academic, I recognised and understood the origins of my very strong belief in public education and the government school system. As I tell you a bit of the story, you'll understand how significant what I see as the democratic and equitable environment of government schools has been in my life, and why I hold the view that without a very strong government school system and proper support for universities, all education is diminished. Recently in the media, there's been a lot said about the importance of choice in education. I believe talk of choice is nonsense if the schools most parents are obliged to send their children to are relatively poorly supported. Their teachers, no matter how dedicated they are, feel seriously constrained in what they can do for that large slice of the community they have in their classes when they work in a poorly resourced system. Interestingly, the principal of what is typically described in the press as a leading girls' school in Sydney, a private school, had this to say recently, urging governments to improve public schools and decrying what she called the hysteria pressuring parents to choose private education for their children. This is what she said in August. We should be living in a world where children can go to their neighbourhood school and be assured of a really good education that meets their needs. We've let the two major groups of schools, the ones that are expensive and those that are not, grow too far apart from each other. Now, that's creating a divide that will last a lifetime, and it's not right. Hugh Mackay, the researcher and social commentator, hit it on the head in a recent Sydney Morning Herald article when he asked the question, what's happened to the idea that world-class public education was the brightest symbol of Australia's commitment to egalitarianism? He goes on to point out significant worrying trends in the society in which today's graduates will work and raise their children. This is what he said. My recent research suggests a growing acceptance of the idea of class divisions. No doubt most parents would be reluctant to admit it, but the growing push for private education, coupled with rising university fees, may be a sign that we're institutionalising social class on a scale that would have been regarded as alien to us. So, back in 1950 at Tyres Hill Public School, I had the good luck to have a sixth class teacher who believed that in the days when all students in Newcastle were streamed into secondary school, I should try to get into a high school where 3 languages and a full matriculation program were offered. And I did. Newcastle Boys High was a great place. A couple of people on the podium here will attest to that. With many first-rate teachers, some of them memorably eccentric, and an innovative, inspiring principal, Francis Harold Beard. Students thrived there, both academically and otherwise. Many, including myself, ended up at what came to be known as the University of Newcastle. And where did I go? To a set of buildings and rooms forming part of the Tech College at Tyres Hill. So I was back in Tyres Hill, but fortunately this time I had a bicycle as a means of transport. I was very fortunate that Newcastle had established a university college in time for me to attend university without the probably impossible cost of having to go away. And it stopped some of the brain drain from Newcastle, mainly to Sydney, though there was no local offering in those days of law or medicine, nor indeed the vast array of degrees we've heard read out this morning. It did demonstrate again the importance of providing some real and practical equality of opportunity in education. I loved my years at Newcastle. I was taught by truly fine scholars, including Ivan Barco in French, and in German, Len McGlashan and Bryn Newton-John, probably more famous for being Olivia's father than for teaching me German. As students, we understood we were helping establish the reputation of an emerging university. There was no Callaghan campus, though on the optimistically named Autonomy Day in August each year, we did set up a tent settlement on the proposed university site at Shortland, just down from the pub. And we went out there before the men and women played their annual football match, and then we held our march down Hunter Street. We were eager to be part of annual staff-student photographs on the steps of the Tech College, and we all fitted, can you believe? It was there too that graduation ceremonies were held. Staff and students worked together to produce the University Review at the no longer existent Roxy Theatre in Beaumont Street, Hamilton. I warn you that I can still sing a parody of Elvis Presley's Heartbreak Hotel from the Third Degree Review, which was the second we actually put on. And in that review, I shared the role of compere with that late great actor who graduated from this university, Vic Rooney, who incidentally also supervised my first practice teaching experience. To illustrate what came from a very tiny cohort of students, I'll quote what Ivan Barco, who became Professor of French at Sydney University. And this is what he wrote many years later in a book about the life of another eccentric professor of French at this university, Kelvin Hartley, who was here when I was a student and he taught me and my wife. This is what Ivan said. By the way, he just arrived from Hungary. It was his first teaching appointment in Australia, and he couldn't have been more than 21, 22, I suspect, a little slightly older. So I wonder what he thought of Tyres Hill. It never ceased to make me wonder how such a small group of students in the country's youngest tertiary institution on a highly polluted technical college campus had produced so many distinguished graduates. To name only those who became full professors elsewhere, that group of a dozen or so, if memory serves me correctly, included Lance Donaldson Evans, who was a professor of Romance languages at the University of Pennsylvania in the States. He named me, at that time, Dean of Education at Sydney. The late Graham Jones, who was a classmate of mine, French at the University of New England, and Philip Thompson, who was Professor of German at Monash. He goes on, possibly what we lacked in resources, experience, and conventional academic respectability, we made up through sheer enthusiasm and commitment. The Newcastle years were among the most exciting of my career. Incidentally, those named were all from Newcastle Boys High School. Many would not have gone to the university at all if the opportunity for tertiary study hadn't opened up in this city. When I enrolled at this university, I was confronted by a large, bespectacled professor with a thick Irish accent and a broad smile. I'm not quite sure why he was smiling, but never mind. He was dressed in a black gown and seated late on a Friday afternoon in a room still being painted and with no light. The university was in the process of expanding into more space in the Tech College before teaching began the next week. He was armed with a fountain pen and one large sheet of paper. It was James Auchmuty, after whom your library is named, and he was welcoming Mr. Eltis to the university and managing the enrolment system in person. It was a long way from online enrolment and automatic fee transfer payment systems, but I suspect it was highly efficient. And perhaps the smile was to encourage me to stay. Despite rather grander campuses, those who run universities today are still in a very difficult position, as are those facing increasing HECS bills, of course, and the prospect of even bigger student loans. Administrators, and I was one, have had to make pragmatic decisions to enable teaching and research to continue, including, however reluctantly, accepting in the present circumstances the need for full fee paying courses. They understand that those asked to contribute more to their own education need to see a direct benefit in the quality of classrooms, laboratories and libraries, as well as in the best staff that can be attracted into the universities. As well, those in charge have to consider what to do about maintaining courses in areas difficult to sustain on economic grounds, yet important for academic and cultural reasons. Some, and I'm sure you'd understand I'm not one of them, would see the classics, for example, as being pointlessly esoteric in today's world and therefore would want them removed from the curriculum. Pure folly. The point I want to make is this. The debate on how to fund education generally and university education in particular is far from over. One obvious consequence of current trends could be a reduction in able students coming to study at university because of the cost, and the nation cannot afford to lose such people. To leave things as they are will result in a very poor legacy for future generations. Well-trained graduates and researchers, such as those of you here today, and their teachers, still need to take up the challenge and produce coherent and cogent arguments which lay out the impact of what has been occurring and what it implies for the future. Regrettably, I don't include this university of course, too few leaders in schools and tertiary institutions have much to say nowadays, and politicians who have plenty to say certainly don't have all the answers, despite what they think. When I left Newcastle at the start of 1965, after 5 years teaching French and German at Newcastle Tech High, now Merewether High, it was to accept the position of Head of Languages at Liverpool Girls High School in Sydney's then notorious outer western suburbs. No one had been prepared to take on the allegedly tough girls in Sydney's west. I may have been naive. It was a great teaching experience, and coincidentally it brought me into contact again with the person who taught me German at this university, Len McGlashan. By then he'd been appointed Foundation Professor of German at the newly established Macquarie University in Sydney. It was a welcome chance for me to do postgraduate work in German under his supervision, and eventually I found myself enjoying a German government scholarship at the University of Hamburg, as you heard, where I studied in 1971. By then I joined the new teacher education program at Macquarie, and I worked there for 17 years, but my desire to become more directly involved with school and education policy making drove me to apply for the position of Director of Curriculum and Educational Programs in the Department of Education. I was there for nearly 5 years, first under a state Labor government and then the coalition and the famous Terry Metherell, experiencing all the shifts of policy and ideology that went with those times. Well, why have I mentioned all of this, apart from hoping to justify my presence in this great hall today? Simply to say that my decision to take the job in Liverpool that no one wanted led to so many opportunities to learn and to contribute, and I hope that you, as graduates, won't be afraid to take up even quite risky opportunities which come your way if you think you can do the job and make a difference. I could have stayed quite comfortably at Newcastle Tech High as a language teacher forever. And in those days, teachers often did. That decision, 40 years ago, led me to all manner of things and finally back to a university, to Sydney University in 1991, as a Professor of Education and Dean, and ultimately as Senior Deputy Vice-Chancellor for the last 2 years. I have to confess that as a Novocastrian outsider, I often enjoyed being a threat to what I might loosely call the Sydney culture. In my final role at Sydney, I attended each year about 20 of the 50 or so graduation ceremonies in the Great Hall. I sat where Roger Holmes is sitting. The occasional speaker usually began by congratulating the new graduates, I've done that, saying how marvellous it was that they'd worked so hard and enjoyed such wonderful training. And now off they could go, well equipped to lead a satisfying professional existence. I often thought that didn't go quite far enough. I hope your studies will have inspired you to go on reading and learning, to undertake further study as part of that professional life. Such study may be related to workplace needs, or it may just be to broaden your own knowledge in areas which interest you. But above all, I hope you will act as engaged citizens who take up issues in a responsible and creative way, seeking to advance our society. Become just decent human beings. Graduates such as yourselves will experience a very different Australia and world from that in which my generation grew up. I must concede that I'm now part of an ageing population, increasingly dependent on a smart and I hope compassionate younger workforce, able to generate high levels of productivity. Without this, we all may lose the benefits of what is, generally speaking, a great country. It's apparent that there will be an even greater urgency in the decades ahead to ensure that our society addresses the full range of needs and hopes in our community. The nation's leaders will come from people like you, and any nation which seeks to meet that goal, which is clearly very dear to my heart, real equality of opportunity, real choice, will need leaders who act on well thought out ethical principles. All of you are to be congratulated for seizing the opportunities which have come your way, and by your efforts turning them into a successful and satisfying foundation for your own futures. But I would hope that I might also have sparked in you a determination to explore the broader ethical demands of leadership in whatever profession you choose. You see, lectures are never over. It's 50 years this year since students first entered Newcastle University College in 1954. A lot has happened in those first 50 years and much has been achieved. But we shouldn't look back out of nostalgia, but for inspiration from what can grow from such modest beginnings. I look forward with confidence to reading how Newcastle graduates are leading thinkers and actors in a variety of spheres, and especially in my area, education, as Australia's future is shaped into the next 50 years. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Dr. Eltis. I'm sure that the graduates will have been challenged by your words. I found your nostalgic wandering through the 50s, 60s, 70s both interesting and depressing. Interesting to hear the change, and depressing because I can remember it all. Great pleasure in inviting Julie McIntyre, Bachelor of Arts Honours, to speak on behalf of the graduates.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the Council, staff of the University, families and friends of graduates, and most importantly, graduates. Well, here we are, 309 of us at the end of a journey. Whether you've studied arts, education, science or IT, whether you've been studying for 3 years full-time or like me on and off for 17 years, whether you have a brilliant career already lined up or you're still wondering what next, today we have survived our quest. We are that thing that seemed so far away when we began. We are graduates. Of course, no heroine or hero completes such a quest without helpers to get past the obstacles, as the Chancellor and Professor Eltis already mentioned. Where would we be without our carers, our partners, parents, grandparents to believe in us, and for some of us, our children and stepchildren as well. Old friends, new friends, lecturers, tutors, and the general staff, those patient people in the libraries, computer labs, technical support, admin offices, and here today. Thanks to all of our helpers, we walk away today with not only a piece of paper, but a deeper sense of what we are capable of. This is in terms of meeting assignment deadlines, the challenges of group work, and the changing relationships that occur in an adult learning environment. But along the way, we have also gained an understanding that, as Thoreau said, the universe is wider than our views of it. University education is a process of changing minds, making them not only ready for an adult occupation, but more open and questioning. I think the process of changing our minds happens in flashes. You know, those mysterious moments when right in the middle of the day-to-day, day-after dayness, something we read or something a lecturer or tutor said briefly and beautifully plugged us into a universe wider than we imagined. In all of our fields, an open mind is our most valuable tool. It's the key to scientific and philosophical inquiry, and without an open mind, writers, artists, and educators can't be receptive to the experiences that make it possible for us to rework the world in ways that are surprising and fresh. The experience of the aha moments that connect us to the current of past and present knowledge is vital. In those moments, we are both fascinated and humbled. Our minds are stretched, opened up to accepting or tolerating new ideas. And this has never been more important. Consider that many of us graduating today began studying at the University of Newcastle the year of the September 11 attacks on the United States. And all of us are among the first generation of university graduates to have gained our university education against the backdrop of the so-called War on Terror. A byproduct of the war is the temptation to be as suspicious as ever of sharing our part of the world. Yet we can understand the irony of this at this particular point in history. Human beings are now know more about the world scientifically than ever before. Our technological advances are accelerating exponentially. There have never been so many of us who are so well educated, and we have access to the literature and history or stories of every human race. We can see that the universe is wider than we ever thought, but we are tempted to be less tolerant, particularly of other ethnicities and religions, in an effort to keep ourselves safe. Perhaps the antidote is an open mind. To be realistic, none of us can be thinking all of the time about the bigger picture issue of tolerance in a changing world. I, for one, today am going to be celebrating. But we can continue to practice the tolerance necessary on a university campus and remember the humility that comes from discovering there is so much more to know. Our undergraduate degrees are just the beginning of a lifelong journey, regardless of our scholarly discipline. At university, we have gained so much more than an occupation. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. And now I declare the ceremony concluded. And I hope you've enjoyed today's ceremony, and thank you for joining the university community in celebration of the conferring of degrees. The University Union invites you to make your way to the Brennan Room in the Shortland Union, where refreshments will be served.